Hello everyone. Now the next chapter is chapter number 12, more on Excel. Renaming a worksheet. Now by default, as you know that in 2010 we are having 3 sheets by default, and in new versions we are having only one sheet, but with the help of the plus sign we can insert new sheet also. And by default the name of the sheets are sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. Now if you want to change the name of the sheet, then how you have to do that? Okay, first method is double click on the sheet name. Now for example, here I have entered some marks, so double click over here and then type the new name and, and press the enter key. Then the sheet name will be changed. Now the second is that right click on the sheet tab and then select the option rename. Now then it will get selected and type a new name. Now for example, here I am typing my name, so the name of the sheet will get changed. So these are the two methods for changing the sheet name, that is by double clicking and by right clicking. I am explaining you once again. First method is double click on the sheet tab. This is the sheet tab where the name of the sheet are displayed. Double click on it, it will get selected, type a new name, right click on it, select the option rename, it will get selected and then type a new name. Now let's move to the next slide. Inserting a new worksheet. If you want to insert a new worksheet, then how you have to do it? To insert a new worksheet in front of the existing worksheet, select the worksheet and then click on the home tab. In the cells group, click insert and then insert sheet. This is the first method. Second method is right click on the sheet tab and then you can select the insert option. Here this is a new version, so here you can directly click on the plus button. As you can see, 3 sheets are already here, plus button and new sheet will be inserted. Okay, the second method is as it was explained you over here, that is click on the insert, that insert sheet button is given over here. From here also it can be done, or there is a keyboard shortcut also, that is shift plus F11. Okay, as you can see on the screen, shift plus F11, a new worksheet will be inserted by using this method too. Moving or copying a sheet. If you want to click on the worksheet tab and select the option move or copy, select the create a copy checkbox. If you want to copy it, under before sheet, select where you want to place the copy and then select OK. Okay, so these are the steps. Now I will explain you how we have to do it. Now there is a sheet with my name Zeba, so I have just click on the mouse right button on this. Then there is an option copy or move. Then a dialog box will display on the screen. Now we want to change the place of it. Now for example, before sheet, I want to make it as a first sheet. Okay, in the book, this book itself. So I have to select before chart 1. Before chart 1 and click on the OK button. If I want to copy it, then I have to select this option create a copy, and if I want to move it, then there is no need. First I am moving it, then I will copy it. So click on the again I am explaining how we have to display this dialog box. Right click on the particular sheet which you want to move or copy. There is an option move or copy. Okay, click on it. If you want to move, there is no need to select this option, and where you want to place this particular sheet, I have selected before sheet chart 1. Click on the OK button and then it will be moved. Now I want to move, I want to copy it. Click the right button, move or copy. Then this time I have selected the option create a copy, and now I want to move to end. Okay, so it will be copied to end, and here you can see with the name, but 2 is included over here because I have made a copy of it. So in this way we can move or copy. Now sometimes we want to move it to some other sheet, some other workbook. So here we have to select the name where we want to move. If you want to move to a new file, you can select the option new book, and then if another book is open, their name will also be displayed, and then you can move it to other workbook also. Now let's move to the next topic. switching between worksheet. Then if you want to change the worksheet, now for example at this time I'm working on the worksheet marks. I want to go to the sheet, another sheet like Zeba. So I just have to bring my cursor over here and click on it, and that particular sheet will be displayed on the screen. But sometimes it happens that we don't want to use mouse, or there is some problem in the mouse and mouse is not working properly. Then there is a keyboard shortcut also for moving from one sheet to another sheet, and that is Control plus page up and Control plus page down. Control plus page down for moving to the next sheet, Control plus page down. In this way the next sheet will be displayed on the screen, and Control plus page up will move to the previous sheet. So with the help of this keyboard also you can move from one sheet to another sheet. The next is views in Excel 2010. So now there are different type of the views present here. Now first view is the normal view. Normal view is a view in which we work normally. So like this we are having columns and rows. Now this view in which we work is called the normal view. This is the normal view. View can be accessed from here also. Click at the view tab, normal view, page break preview, page layout view, and custom view. So normal view is this view only where we used to work, and then okay, then after this we are having this page break preview. So it will display in the same way as a page is going to be printed on the sheet. So here we have just enter some values till F. So in this way it is shown over here. The next one we are having page break preview. So here it shows with a dotted line, dotted blue line, said that one page is coming here, as you can see it right now. So pages are shown, and then like this, page 1, page 2, page 3. This is the content which is are displaying, because the orientation is this landscape this time, so it is coming like that. So page 1, page 2, and page 3. Again we want to switch to the normal view. Again we can switch to the normal view. In this way it will be visible on the screen. Now so two ways are there for checking the view. Click at the view tab and click on the button over here, and or on the just below on the status bar also towards the right side, these buttons are given. From here also you can change the view. The next is splitting a window. Then sometimes we want to divide the window into two different parts, horizontally or vertically. Then how we have to do it? Now for example I'm just creating a new worksheet for you so you can easily understand. Now I want to divide the window from here, from this particular column. So I have to select this particular column. After this we have to change this. Then click at the view, and there is an option is split. So window is split. Now you can see there are two horizontal scroll bar, one is here and one is here. Okay, now as we are moving, so from here it is coming, now it is coming from A B C D columns. As you can see the columns, now two parts is divided into two parts, that is A B C D E F H. So in the same way it is coming from like this. So the window is divided in two parts. Again click on this button and it will remove the split. If you want to divide it from the row, then select a particular row, click on the split, and then the window is splitted. Now here you can see that the rows are coming from 1 2 3 4 5, and again it is coming 1 2 3 4 5. So in this way we can split the window. You want to again remove the splitting, then just click on the split button and it will be removed. This button is presented in the view tab. Now the next topic which we are having is formula and function. Now sometime especially in Excel we have to do some calculations also. Then for doing that we have to use sometimes we use formula and sometimes we use this function. So what is formula and what is function? Then for example, if you have written the cell addresses by using an operator, that is plus, minus, multiplication, then it is known as formula. Functions are the predefined formulas and are already available in Excel. For example, sum function, maximum, minimum, average function. So in this we don't have to use operator. Now for example, you want to add two numbers, so you can add numbers directly. Okay, I'm just increasing the size of the text so you can see clearly. Okay, here I'm increasing the size. I have increased the size to 20. So I hope you can, if whenever you don't want to do any, you want to use any formula, then you have to give the equal sign. Now simple calculation I'm doing, 6 plus 5. So plus sign is an operator that we are telling this Excel that we want to add up these numbers. Press the enter key and the answer will be shown over here. If the numbers are entered in some cell, like 5 is entered here and 6 is entered here, then and we want to add these two numbers, so that also we can do equal sign. That first click in this cell means C1, and then click in plus sign, then CX, and then the next cell, just click in the next cell, automatically the cell address will be written. Now it is, the formula is something like this, equal sign C1 plus D1. You can see in the formula bar. So as the press the enter key, same answer we will get, that is 11. So in this way, this thing is known as formula. In formula we use either the cell addresses or the numbers directly and an operator, that is the plus case in this. Now for example, the next topic, the next is a function. In function we use a function name, and they are having, as we use the particular function name, then Excel understand that what we want to do. Now for example, 5, 6. Here I have written only two numbers and I have used a sum function. So there is no need to give the plus sign. As I have written sum, then Excel knows that we want to add these two numbers. Press the enter key and answer will be 11. So function means whatever the function name we have written, Excel knows that what calculation we want to perform on these numbers. So that is the difference. So formula use operators, that is plus, minus, multiplication or division, and for the function we have to give a specific function name. Next topic after this that we are having is formula basics. Now whenever we want to give any formula, then formula always start with an equal to sign. After giving the equal to sign, either we have to use a formula or we have to use function. If we are using formula, operator must be used, and if we are using function, we have to give the correct function name. If by mistake we have done some mistake in typing, or you have given the wrong function name, then we will not get the result. In that case, the error message will display on the screen. So in this way we have to use function and formulas. And yes, one more thing, that if equal sign is missing, then in that case also the answer will not be displayed. Now for example, here I have given equal sign 5 plus 6. Now if I am removing equal sign from here and I have written only 5 plus 6, so it will not give us that 11 as result. It will display only 5 plus 6. So equal sign is must. With the equal sign, Excel understand that this is formula and that is calculated for us. The next is order of operation. So here I have given a simple mathematical equation, that is 5 plus 6. But if you have having a long calculation and you have used different types of the operators in it, then as you know that in math there is a BODMAS rule. In the same way in Excel there is a BADMAS rule. Okay, now what does it mean? BADMAS, B stands for bracket or the parenthesis, exponent, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Means if in equation bracket is there, so first bracket will be solved and then exponent. Exponent means raise a power. Then division, multiplication, addition and then subtraction. The next topic is errors in Excel. Sometimes it happens that you are doing some calculations, then some errors get appear on the screen. Then you must understand why those particular errors are coming and how we have to solve or how we have to fix that error. Now the first error is series of hash. If this error appears when the column is not wide enough, and then either means you have done some calculations and then the value is not coming in the particular cell and answer is very long and the value is not coming in the particular cell, then this type of the error get appear on the screen. Okay, so if the error is not wide enough, so this particular error get appear on the screen. Now here, as I have written two numbers, two large numbers, and I have multiplied it, so the number is automatically changes into scientific notation. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm changing this number to simple type of the number in general format and numeric format. Click OK button. Now as I've done it, the column sizes get increased. If I'm reducing the column size, then at the place of the result, here you can see now the series of hash is coming. To come out from this, the one of the solution is that increase the size of the column, so the number will be displayed on the screen. Now the next is div 0 error. Div 0 error is that if we divide any number by 0, then we get this error. Okay. Okay, I'm just showing you this. Now you can see here div 0 error is coming. The reason why this error is coming, because I have divided the value of B1 to value of C1. In B1 we are having 67, but in C1 there is no value. No value means 0. So as we divided any number by 0, div 0 error appears on the screen. Now the next one we are having is name error. Name error means that, as I told you earlier, if you're using any function name, that function name must be given correctly. And if you have done some mistake, then because when we give the function name, Excel understand that this particular calculation have to be done. But if you have done some mistake in it, for example, I want to write sum, but by mistake I have not typed the alphabet M, or I have pressed it but it was not pressed properly, so it will remain only SU, and as I press the enter key, name error we get appear, because Excel does not know what is SU. Okay, SU, there is no function name there in Excel. Excel knows SUM sum, but not SU. So therefore this name error is coming. If name error is coming, so easily we understand that somewhere in the function name we did some mistake, therefore this name error is coming. The next is reference error. When this problem occurs, the error will be displayed when a cell reference is not valid. Deleting cells that were referred by other formula will cause this error. In formula, if we have referred a cell but that cell we have deleted, and then this error message got appear on the screen. Now I will explain you this now. Okay, first I am taking two numbers here. Numbers. Okay. Now after this, I want to do. I want to add these two numbers. That is F1 plus G1. Okay, so the answer will be 13. After this, what I have done, I have deleted this entire column. Okay, and now as the column is deleted, here you can see first it was showing 13, now it is coming reference error. Reference error means the particular cell which I have referred with, it's not presented. So this type of error appear on the screen. The next is arguments of the formula. So when we write formula, functions, especially functions, along with the function name, this thing which we use is known as argument. So argument may be the number, it may be the cell address, individual cell address like A1, B1, C1, D1, or it may be the range. Range means the first cell address and the last cell address separated by a colon sign. So here A1 colon D1 is the cell range. So here we can give the numbers only with the operator sign, or we can use individual cell addresses, or we can use range also. All such things known as arguments of the formula of the function. Now next is copying a formula. For copying a formula, we can use fill handle, or we can use cut and paste option also. Now to explain this, I am taking simple example. Now for example, here are some numbers, and I am just using autofill feature for copying down, so we can get the numbers quickly. Some numbers are written here. In the same way, some numbers are also here, and I want to add these numbers. Okay, 2 more cells. Fine. So I want to add equal sign, then A1 plus B1. Okay. So as we have added 2 sign, the answer is displaying 6. I want to add all these numbers also, like 2 plus 6, 3 plus 7. So there is no need to write down the formula everywhere. Come after writing the formula in the first cell, or it can be function also. Then come to the cell fill handle. The cursor will change into plus sign. Now press the mouse left button and drag it down. In this way, the formula will be copied. Here I am showing you the formula. As you can see, formula is get copied from one cell to another cell. So one method is this. Second method is that after writing the formula in the first cell, copy it. First select it, click on the copy option, copy it. After this, select the cell where you want to copy, then go to the paste. Please remember, you directly don't have to click on the paste button. Click on paste, then there's an option paste formula. Click on this button, formula will be copied. Okay, there's a difference. Directly clicking on the paste will paste only that particular number 6, but paste formula will copy the formula in these particular cells. So in this way we can copy the formula. But dragging is very simple and easy. Directly it can be done. Now the next is referencing a cell in a formula. Now what is referencing? Here first let me explain you this. Now as I have copied the formula here, then you can notice that okay, I'm increasing the size so you can check it properly. I'm increasing the size of all these cells. Okay, now here as I've copied the formula, so first in the first cell C1, it was A1 plus B1. When I have dragged it down, so it's become A2, then B2, A3, B3, A4, B4. Means when we copy down the formula, automatically the cell address get changed. So that is known as referencing. Referencing means either the cell gets changed or not. When we are copying the formula, that is known as cell referencing. So there are 3 types of the referencing, that is relative referencing. In relative referencing, when we copy down the formula, the cell address get changed. Now as you can see it over here, the cell address are changing. This type of the referencing is known as relative referencing. Sometimes we want that when you are copying down the formulas, the cell address does not change. To explain this, I am taking a simple example. Now for example, we want to calculate the radius of a circle. The area of the circle. Okay, so for this we need radius. In radius, for example, I am taking some value over here. For calculating the area of the circle, we need a formula, that is pi r square. So value of pi, I am writing it over here, 3.14. Now the formula for this will be pi r square. So equal sign, value of pi is written here. Okay, multiply sign. R square means the value of r is written here. R square we can do it 2 times. A into A2. Okay, so now the formula is this. Now we want to calculate the same thing, area for all the radiuses. So as we drag it down, in the first cell the answer will come correctly, but in the other cell it will give us 0. The reason is that as we have copied down the formula get changed. Now here G1 is changing to G2, G3, G4. Yes, we want it. Means as we copy down this, the area of A1, A2, A3, A4, we want that it should be changed, but the address of the G1 is also get changed to G2, G3, G4. And G2, G3, G4 we don't have any value, so means 0 value. So when the number is multiplied to 0, it's become 0. So we want, when we copy down this formula, the G1 should not change. It should remain same. So for this purpose, I have to include that is a $sign before G and $1. After this, now it's become absolute cell. Absolute cell means when we copy down, the cell address, that is G1, will not change now. Now I'm copying it again, and now I will show that it will give us the correct result. And I'm showing you the formula that G1 is remain same, but G2, A2, A3, A4, A5 are changed in this, because this portion here, this portion is become absolute referencing, and here this portion which is changing over here is the relative referencing. In the same way, we have the mixed referencing also. In mixed referencing, we uses only $1 sign. $1 that is either A1, $A1, or the second is $1. In this way, we uses the mixed referencing. So there are three types of the referencing. Relative referencing. In relative referencing, we uses only cell address. When we copy down the cell address get changed. In absolute, we uses $2 sign, one before the column letter and the one before the row number. But when we copy down, the cell address does not change; it remains same. And the third is mixed referencing. In mixed referencing, we uses only $1 sign. Wherever we have given that $1 sign, that value does not change; it remains constant or same. The next topic is functions. Now we are having different functions while doing calculation. Different types of the functions are there. That is sum, product, average, maximum, minimum, now function. So first topic is function library. Now there is an option formula. In formula, we are having all these functions over here. That is, if you want to insert a function from the dialog box, you can do it from there. Then auto sum also having some functions: sum, average, count number, maximum, minimum. Sum will calculate do the addition. Average will calculate the average of the numbers. Count will count that how many cells we have in the remaining value. Maximum will find out the maximum number from the given range, and minimum will display you the minimum number from the given range. Recently used functions are here. If you want to use any function, then it contains financial, logical, and text, date, and function. All these functions are available. The next topic is the sum function. Then how we have to use sum function, that I have already explained to you. You have to give the equal sign. After giving the equal sign, we have to, okay, now I want to add these numbers by using function. So first equal sign plus bracket. Now either directly type the cell address, or directly you can click on the cell, select it, then comma sign in between, then select the second cell address, then bracket close and press the enter key, and then the result will display, and that is 6 in this case. 1 plus 5 is 6. So we have to use function in this way. Now the second is second function named what we are having is product. Product, as you know, that multiplication of the numbers. Now for example, we want to calculate the product over here only. So I'm just removing the word of function from there. Product I have written, and I want to multiply all the three values now. That is A1, B1, and C1, or I can give it in this way also, means A1 colon C1, means from cell A1 to C1. Press the enter key, and the answer will be 60, because 6 5 is 30, and 30 multiplied by 1 is 30 itself. So that way we'll get the product of the number. After this, the next function which we are having is average. Average means to calculate the average of the numbers. So we don't have to divide anything over here. Then simply we just have to write down the function name. Average of these three numbers, that is 1, 5, and 6, it will be 4, as you can do it. So 4 is the average of this number. Okay, so in this way we can calculate all such things. Now the next is the maximum function. Maximum function, then from the given range it will display us the maximum number. Okay, I'm just making a change over here. I am changing this number to 29. Okay, in between this number is coming. Now I have selected all these cells. Okay, I'm selecting all these cells, this much only. Now equal sign, maximum, bracket. Now what cell? Okay, I'm just selecting from here, so it can be done easily from all these cells. Entire column. Maximum is 34. So here you can see 34 is the maximum in this range. In the same way, if you want to find the minimum number, so please remember the complete word maximum you don't have to write, only the in short max you have to write for getting the maximum number. In the same way, for getting the minimum number, min, okay, minimum, so it will show the minimum number, and that is 1. So in this way we can calculate, we can display maximum and minimum number. Now the next is now. Now function will display the current date and time. Now equal sign, now, then bracket, open bracket, close, enter key, and then today is 15th of September, and right now it is 9:45. So in that way it gives the current date of the system. Whatever the system date is there, it will be shown you. Now the next is if function. That is a conditional. In this we have to give a condition. Then if the value is this, then do this, otherwise do this. So in that way it is calculated. So to explain this, I am just making some changes in the values which are written over here. So you can, so it will be, you can easily understand that how does it work. Now I will, so I'm just taking these two columns, column B and column C. I will take it here. That is equal sign, if the value of B1 is greater than the value of C1. Okay, then give a comma sign. Then if the value of B1 is printed, then print the value of B1 or print the value of C1. In this case we will get the greater number from these two. 6. Now 5. Okay, it's better that I'm just remove this so you can easily understand. You will not be confused from this. Okay, I'm just deleting the value, not the same. Okay, so in this way 5 and 6, again I'm showing you that what is the formula I gave over here. I have given, that is, okay, B and C contains the formula itself. So 5 and 6 are the numbers. So I have said that if the value of B1 is greater than C1, so display B1 or C1. If we, so in this way, and but when we drag it down, now in both the cases the greater number is coming. So here whatever the greater number is there, so that particular number is displaying over here. So in this way we use this if function. The next topic we are having charts. So charts are graphical representation of the numeric data, and then there are different types of the chart in MS Excel. According to our need and the requirement, we can draw different types of the charts. Now, so here I had display one of the chart over here. This is a simple type of the chart, that this chart does not contain all the elements over here. But first, if you want to draw a chart, then first I will explain you that what are the different types of the charts over here. Now these are the some common charts. All charts are here. We are having column chart, line chart, pie chart, bar chart. This topic you had studied in the class 8 also in detail. So there is the same thing, not any new thing over here. Then column, what are the column charts? That it shows a comparison among individual item. Line chart, it shows the trend over a change in period of time. Then pie chart is represent the values in the percentage format. Though in such a way we are having different types of the charts. Now after this the next is we are having, after this the next topic, that is the elements of the chart. So as we draw the chart, there are many things on it. Now what are these things? This bar, okay, that is a vertical axis where the values are given. Then we are having the horizontal axis where this, like for the students, the names or the items are written over here. This is the horizontal axis. This is the horizontal axis title, and this is the vertical axis title. In this way, now this is the whole chart. The whole thing is known as a chart area. This place where the chart is drawn, this block is known as a plot area. Then title which is given to the chart is known as the chart title. These are the data series which are drawn with the help of the numbers. Then at the back of the chart, these horizontal lines can be seen. These horizontal lines are known as a grid line. Sometimes we display the horizontal grid line, sometimes display the vertical grid lines. So different types of the grid lines are there. Now these grid lines can be displayed as a major and the minor grid line also, where depending upon that which type of the grid line we want to show, major grid line will be displayed away from each other and the minor grid line will be displayed nearer to each other. Then each color, what does it represent over here, that is given by the legend. With the help of this legend board we can understand this. Like this blue color is given September 16, then December 16, in such a way all these data series are can be easily understood with the help of this legend box. So these are known as chart components. We are having x-axis, y-axis, x-axis title, y-axis title, chart title. Then this is the area where the chart is drawn, is known as a plot area. Then we are having legend. Then at the back of the chart we are having grid lines. These are the data series. These are known as a data series. And this whole area where the chart is drawn and all items are there is known as chart area. The next is different types of the chart. We are having column, line, pie chart, and long list of the chart is there. Depending upon the need and the requirement, we have to draw different types of the chart. Then the next topic is creating a chart. If you want to draw a chart, then what you have to do? Then first you have to come to the sheet that with the help of which you want to draw a chart. Select all these options. Go to the insert menu. Okay, insert tab. Then there are some type of the chart as drawn. If you want a dialog box, then click on this launcher button. The dialog box will be displayed on the screen. Then select the particular type of the chart, like for example column chart I have taken. So column chart will be, select the column chart, click on the OK button. That particular column chart will be displayed on the screen. After this, the next one we are having changing a chart. Now for example, this chart which is coming over here, you don't like this chart, you want to change the chart type. So there is a button. Now one thing I have to explain to you, that for example if you have clicked somewhere else, not on the chart, then you will not see those options. For getting those options, you have to select the chart. As you select the chart, then design and format tabs are appear. Now otherwise design and format tabs are not there, but once the chart is selected, then design and format tabs get appear on the screen. Click on the design tab. There is an option change chart type. Click on this option, and now we want to change this chart to line chart. Then select the line chart option and then click on the OK button, and your chart type will be changed. So in this way you can change the chart type. Then moving and resizing a chart. If your chart is displaying on the same sheet, then it is very easy to move the chart. Just bring the cursor on the chart, the cursor changes into four-headed arrow, and move it to a new place. In the same way, if you want to resize it, you can resize it very easily by dragging the resizing handle which are available at all the sides of the chart. So these are the resizing handles. With the help of the resizing handles, you can increase or decrease the chart. It's better to use the diagonals, otherwise if you are using this only vertically it will change, or horizontally it will change. So it's better to change the size of the chart diagonally. But sometimes it happens that we want to move this chart to some other sheet also. Like there are many sheets over here. Right now this chart is present on the marks sheet. I want to move this chart to the sheet number 5. So there is a button move chart. Click on the move chart button. Now as object in, as new sheet, where I want to move it on a new sheet, then I have to select the option chart 2. Then automatically a new sheet will be inserted. Object in means it will be inserted on a particular sheet, sheet 5. So it will be inserted on sheet number 5. Now you can see, now the chart is moved to sheet number 5. From the marks sheet, it is not presented there, it moved on the sheet. Now here we are having chart 1. Now I want to move it to a new sheet. So move chart, and then new sheet option I have to select, and if I want to change the name, then I can change the name, otherwise sheet chart 2. Click on the OK button, and the chart will be moved on new sheet, and the name of the new sheet is chart 2. Now again I want to move the chart to the same sheet from where I have taken it, that is object in, and I have taken it from marks sheet. So marks, then click OK, and the chart will again move on that particular sheet. So in this way we can move and resize the chart. Changing the chart by changing its data means sorry, for example this chart which is displaying over here, first I am changing its type to column, so you can easily understand this also. Now column is okay. So this is the chart. Now here you can see for the student ABC, the English marks is 5. Now for example, I want to change the marks over here, or maybe the marks was entered by mistake 5 and I want to change the marks. So I have changed the marks to 9, and then here you can see earlier it was 5, so it was coming as 5 till 5. I have changed the marks in the sheet 9. As I press the enter key, this bar will automatically change to 9. Means whatever the changes I have done, it will be reflected over here also. The next topic is changing the chart type and start. Okay, fine. Formatting with the mini toolbar. Mini toolbar here means that when we select a chart, then a toolbar get appears on the screen, or when we right click on it, then a toolbar get appear. With the help of this, the formatting can be applied. Otherwise, if you want to format it, then there is the option format also when you select the chart, and from here also fill color, fill autofill, and many more formatting can be applied from here also. The next topic is adding charts element. Adding chart element, for example, the chart which we have drawn, it does not contain all the elements here. Like what is the chart? It is coming over here, marks, subjects are coming, but the name of the subject is not there. So for this purpose, first we have to select the chart, click on design, add element button is given here. Now whatever the element, now for example, axis title, horizontal title. So here as I selected, axis title get appear. Now here I want to give marks option over here, so I can type it. Now so this title is get appear. So in this way we can add different elements to the chart by using add chart element. Some of the elements you can say axis, title axis, chart title, labels, data table. Okay, I'm doing for data table now. Data table with legend. So the tab, that is the table, will get attached to the chart. So either if you want to hide it again, that data table and none, and the table will be removed. So in this way we can add the different elements to the chart with the help of this chart added chart option. So here we have completed this chapter. I hope all this topic will be clear to you. Along with this, I will send the question answers of this chapter also. If you're having any doubt during the query time, you can post your queries. Thank you.